relief. You two take care of labor.
Only intended for a plain cat.
You don't want to die of cold. Toll-free.
Hello, hi, and welcome to Screenland. My name is Brian Lloyd. On today's episode, Muireann O'Connell from Ireland AM, from being Muireann O'Connell, I guess, is our guest. She picks Grosse Pointe Blank. Brilliant, like what a choice. Like what a chef kiss of a choice. For myself, however, today we're going to be talking about two films. First of all, it's Eddington, Ari Aster Eddington, and then the other is Life of Chuck. Now, if you happen to be watching or listening to this and you are in the US, yes, these are only being released in Ireland now. Why that is, don't know. It was the same last week with Materialists. Why is it that there's like a 3-month gap? I don't know. I don't pretend to know. I don't understand why they're doing this. This used to be a thing in the 90s and it's suddenly making a comeback. I don't know. Can't figure it out. Whatever. Fuck it, we ball. So, let's start with Eddington. To begin with, Ari Aster, I think, is a writer-director who, you know, his work is always going to be very sinister and is always going to be very, you know, digging close to the bone and really touching off stuff that is dark and weird and kind of very easy to comprehend, but then simultaneously very difficult to comprehend. Like the best example I could think of is something like Hereditary, which dresses up, you know, familial trauma and the idea of, you know, being a bad parent with The Exorcist. And then conversely, you look at something like Beau is Afraid, and it's, you know, neuroticism dressed up as apocalypse and trying to process all of that. And then Midsommar is, you know, a breakup movie, but it's also about, you know, the fucked up family secrets that people have. What if you didn't have them in secret? What if you just let them all out in public and everyone could see it? So, coming into Eddington, this film is set during the pandemic in 2020. It's about a small town in New Mexico that is basically dying. And Pedro Pascal plays the mayor, Joaquin Phoenix plays the sheriff. And the two of them are basically initially are squaring off over the construction of a data center just outside the town by this company called Gold Magikarp, which is kind of hilarious of a title and really does kind of speak to just how fucking ridiculous tech bros are, that they'll just come up with some stupid throwaway name and then you just see it plastered onto the side of a building and it's like, what the hell? Anyways, so you have the pandemic, you have, you know, the rise of techno-feudalism, and then you also have, you know, a kind of a neo-Western, you know, that sort of way. And that's all kind of stirring in the pot. And then you also have, like, you know, remember in 2020, like you had, you know, George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter protest movement. And then you had, you know, the defund the police movement. And then there was, you know, the rise... Well, maybe not the rise is the wrong word, but certainly the sort of the mainstreaming, if you like, of conspiracy and how that just really kind of fed into everything and really just kind of underlined the fact that America is fucked in so many ways. And like, you know, you watch this, I mean, it's 2.5 hours long. I mean, okay, to get into the kind of the bones of it, it's a film that could easily be 30 minutes shorter and you would still arrive at the same sort of conclusion. You wouldn't need that extra 28 minutes, 30 minutes to get where it's going to go. And, you know, I get that, you know, the length of time is to give it a depth and all the rest of it. But the reality of it is that if you're living in the Western world, chances are you are familiar with a lot of this stuff already. Or at least... you know, it's in the ether, and you know what it's kind of talking about. And like, you know, I was watching it and it was like, I don't know necessarily, did I need to see a kind of a pitch black gallows humor satire of American culture? And, you know, the joke always is, or not the joke, but sort of the cliche is, oh, satire is dead in the age of Trump. And, you know, you can't make fun of this and all the rest of it. And how can you make fun of it when he's a joke? And, you know, the clown is running the circus and all the rest of it. And, you know, it's that thing of like, I don't, you know, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, you know? But what I found funny about this is that, you know, Joaquin Phoenix, I think, is a very underrated comedic actor. He has so many moments in this where he's just this dipshit cop that doesn't know what he's doing, that he's trying his best. He's trying to be a good husband to his wife, played by Emma Stone, who is a deeply, deeply damaged woman. And then there's a whole subplot, if you like, about whether or not she was abused by her father and whether her mother was complicit in that. And the mother is played by Deirdre O'Connell, who's this great Tony Award winning actor. And she's just constantly like in the background sniping at everything, coming up with this, you know, constant you know, like just of like, you know, the most ridiculous conspiracy bullshit. And again, like, you know, that's one of the things that I kind of, you know, that I think is very, I notice more and more, is that like we are just constantly being bombarded by bullshit, says the guy with the fucking podcast who's filming it as well. And I'm just adding to it as well. And there's that kind of like frustration of like, you know, it's everywhere. It's just beating away at us. And like we were not supposed to travel beyond a cave. We were supposed to subsist on berries and twigs, but yet because we decided to stand upright and make fire, here we are, however many thousands of years later, you know, doing this shit. And, you know, we haven't made the tools to process it. Our brains are not equipped to take this onslaught of information and all the rest of it. And, you know, the thing about Eddington is that like it's trying to like funnel all this crap into like a small little town in New Mexico, and how can it possibly hope to contend with any of it? How can it contend to cope with, you know, racism and, you know, what, you know, a sort of a militarized police force looks like, and how does that even work? How does it contend with, you know, corporate, you know, interference and dominance, and, you know, these small towns that are not built, that are not equipped for any of this, and then that's just punching in on it, you know? All of this is to say, I don't know if I necessarily liked Eddington, but I'm glad it was made. And I know that sounds like a bit of a cop-out, because I think, you know, we're still trying to process, all of us, not just in America, I think in Europe as well, we are still trying to process what happened during the pandemic and the psychological effect that it had on everyone. And I don't know if we'll ever get any kind of... I don't think we'll ever get to a place where it will make sense and that it will suddenly, you know, click in and we'll all figure it out. Like, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think, you know, it's been 5 years. Come back to me in 25 years and maybe then we might have something to say about it, or at least something more cogent, something more kind of conventional is the wrong word, but maybe something more coherent, you know, that sort of way. This felt to me more like Ari Aster was still trying to process it and not fully kind of understanding it yet. And I would imagine he would admit this himself, because like the final kind of 25 minutes of it just goes chaotic. And it's very unconvincing, and it's very, you know, it felt like it was just written just to kind of put the bookend on it. It's like, well, I don't have anything else, so fuck it, I'm going to go for this. And, you know, that's, you know, I'm not saying every film has to end in a sort of, you know, satisfying manner. There can be ambiguity. Of course there can be ambiguity. But and Beau is Afraid had quite an ambiguous ending. It ended very much in a sort of like, in a dark, really, you should really watch Beau is Afraid because it messed me up. Like, it was so fucked up. But Eddington more kind of irked me, which is to say, I could feel that there was something there, but I don't necessarily know if it got what it was trying to get at. And I don't even think it knew what it was trying to get at, if that makes sense. I'm going way over on this. I'd say give it a watch. I would give it a go. I think, Ari Aster is one of the few directors working today that is able to call upon cast, is able to call upon, strong production values and make something unique and try to address things and do it in a kind of a big, bold way. Doesn't always land. This is an example of it not landing, but I'm still glad that he attempted it. So there's that. The next film I saw is The Life of Chuck. This is directed by Mike Flanagan. It's based on Stephen King's short story of the same name. Stars Tom Hiddleston. And, Stephen King, I think, is one of those authors that is very, very, his short stories, I think, are some of his best works. Like, and the example I would give, and I really, this is one of the most exciting films I'm really excited to see, is The Long Walk, where his short stories are very cleanly written, and it really punches through. It's very, like, narratively kind of, like, honed, And The Running Man as well, actually. I mean, I know those are two Bachman books, but anyways, this is a short story that follows basically, it's kind of from the end of the world, literally from the end of the world to the beginning of Tom Hiddleston's character, Chuck, his early life and how he kind of came to have all the experiences that he had. I don't know, like, it's one of those films where, yes, it's very earnest. Yes, it's very sentimental. Yes, it is trying to be, it's trying to be, The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, Dolores Claiborne, maybe a little bit. It's that thing of like magical realism, and I think you have to be in the right mood for it. I think you have to be in the right place for it, because if you're not, the earnestness, the sincerity of it doesn't go over, I think. I mean, I will say this. It looks beautiful. Actually, here's what I would say. If this had been like a kind of a BBC miniseries, right? Because it's broken up into three, I want to say three or four chapters. If they had taken each one and turned that into like a 90-minute film, okay? Or a 90-minute TV movie, whatever you want to call it. And you had bang, this, and this. I probably would have been better, because like the opening, but it's actually the end of the story, if you like. That's really interesting. It's basically the end of the world. Things are going more and more off kilter. The boundaries of reality is beginning to slip. And all around this small town, you keep seeing this thing, 35 years. Thanks a lot, Chuck. And everyone's like, who the fuck is Chuck? Like, who's this guy? Is he an accountant? What is this? And then the internet stops working and stuff like that. And it's so weird, and it's everyone trying to process the weirdness. And it's for me, it was the part of the film that I was like, this is actually great. I'd love to see this. Because then when it goes back further into the story, it goes more into kind of like Stand By Me. It's more about like, summer, the summer that never ended. And, we were just, couple of guys, couple of boys, and it's gee shucks kind of stuff. And again, when Stephen King does it, and I think when Mike Flanagan translates it, he keeps a lot of the earnestness, he keeps a lot of that sentimentality. It's just, I don't know, it's very, Mike Finnerty and the Northside People, former Entertainment.ie comrade, said it best. This is the film this is your mom's new favourite film. My mom would love this film. I'm sure your mother would too. Yeah, it's very nice. It's really sweet. It's almost too sweet. And, if you look at, Midnight Mass, which I think is Mike Flanagan's best work, you can see that he can do really heartfelt, really beautiful stories with, pitch black darkness in the corners. And Life of Chuck, it's almost as if it will not broach the darkness. This is really sweet. This is really beautiful. We are not touching on any of that, even though it's right there and you can see it, but it just chooses not to go for it. Tom Hiddleston is great in it. Mark Hamill was great in it. Mia Sara, 80s throwback Mia Sara, is in there as well. And, great use of Wang Chung. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it more than Eddington. I think Eddington... I don't think you're meant to enjoy Eddington. That's the truth of it. You're not meant to enjoy Eddington. You're meant to be freaked out by it. Whereas Life of Chuck, I think you're meant to be comforted by it. I think you're meant to kind of take pleasure in the life well lived, Okay, let's get on to the interview. Muireann O'Connell is on from Monday to Thursday on Ireland AM. She is on Instagram. She's huge there with her fashion and stuff like that. This was a great interview. Unfortunately, filmed this with my phone, so the quality is crap. And it goes out of sync at the end. Listen, I'm learning this. Are you even watching this? Are you probably listening to this, aren't you? Of course you are. Why am I even filming this? Who knows? Hope you're enjoying the show. Hope you're enjoying the series. This is just me and a microphone and a camera, and I have no fancy production values here whatsoever. Oh, if you're looking for Eddie, he's over here on the couch. I've kept him over there because some of you have noted that he barks a lot. He's a dog. I'm filming this at home. This is literally my kitchen table. Those are my books over my shoulder. That's some artwork. That's some stuff. I'm filming this at home. My dog is at home. My dog is going to bark. Sorry about that. I know it's annoying. I'm editing them out. Yeah. I'm rambling now. Okay, here's the interview with Muireann. Muireann O'Connell, host of Ireland AM. Former radio presenter. Question: Do you identify with Minnie Driver in this? Because no, seriously, right? I was watching clips of it earlier before you came, right? And I was like, it's such a first of all, fantastic choice, well done. With the taste, I love it. But I am wondering why this. Do you identify with Minnie Driver, who is a radio presenter who questions whether we should give love a second chance?
Well, I think she's an incredibly optimistic character.
Sure.
In kind of being the reflection of John Cusack's existential crisis, when she is just kind of steadfastly there and doesn't question the things that he does. No, I do not identify with her, but I did want to be her.
Yes.
Don't identify with her, but
yes.
I loved her so much. I wanted to be Debbie Radio and I wanted to slag Bobby Beamer. But I had no idea I was ever going to end up in radio when this became my favourite film, and it has remained one of my favourite films since my teenage years. And it was my friend's mum who said to me, "You need to go see Grosse Pointe Blank, you're going to love it."
Really?
And I was like, oh.
So you saw this in the cinema, like in 1997? Like?
I saw this in the cinema. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I hadn't been anywhere near a microphone. I wouldn't be near a microphone for another decade. So it was. Oh wow. It was just I just loved this movie.
So it was really like. So this was. I'm not being kidding now. This was genuinely formative. Like.
Yeah. Yeah. It has like everything about it. It was on a list recently of Letterboxd had it in a list of best romantic comedies, and people went crazy.
Right.
This isn't a romantic comedy. This
It isn't.
Is what? But it is. Like, it 100% is, but it's whatever you want it to be.
Correct.
And it's the black comedy. It's an action movie. It is a philosophical film, but it is a romantic comedy.
It is. And like I love that you brought that up, because I think this film wouldn't exist in today's world. It just wouldn't.
No.
Because, as you say, it's literally like 5 different films in one. It is very much a romantic comedy. Like John Cusack and Minnie Driver, the meet cute, like the whole little scene when he initially pulls up to the radio station and like they're having the back and forth. That's like, tell me that's not Mike Nichols.
Where,
you know,
where are all the good men dead? In the heart or in the head?
there you go. Like,
And I was just so... It's standing
that's Nora
outside.
Ephron. That's like Nora Ephron levels of like
100%.
yeah, right. Then the next scene, you have Dan Aykroyd. You know, like I love him in everything, but in this especially, I love how he is like just so kind of. He's almost like a Bugs Bunny cartoon character in this, like the way he's just like, ah.
He is, but it's also a precursor, and it is a takedown of corporate America.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's like, it is an industry film about
Yeah.
what we're seeing now.
Corporate ownership,
Corporate
and
ownership,
consolidation.
yeah, and that the wish to unionize and for a workers' collective to ensure that you have some rights, even if you are assassins whose job it is to murder
Yeah.
people. I get it, Eddie. That
100%.
it was also speaking to the dangers of capitalism. Like, it does it all.
And that's it. Like I don't have this is it. I don't have problems with films that are 5 things in one, that are tonally, but
Yeah, but that can do it.
correct.
Yeah.
If you can do it, 100%. If you can get away with it, if you can mishmash 5 films into one and make them all work, you're winning. Fantastic. Go for it.
Yeah.
Do it. No problem. And this is a great example of, and I think it's an example of a kind of bravery that we just don't see anymore. Because, like, take for example something like, you know, Anyone But You.
Yeah.
Right. You could look at that and you could say, you know, Glenn Powell can easily do an action movie. Sydney Sweeney
Glenn
could
Powell
do
is dying to bring back the 90s.
100%, and I love it, and I love that for him,
Dying.
Have you seen Hitman? No.
God, yes, of course, I tried.
Now, I would have thought if you loving Grosse Pointe, I thought you would have been straight in on Hitman.
Because it doesn't get... I don't think that Hitman is self-aware enough to get that you are at times being laughed at, not laughed with. Whereas you're never laughing at Grosse Pointe. You're laughing with Grosse Pointe because it is the joke. It is just so funny.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it that is cheesy. Whereas Hitman, it's trying to hit all these 90s things, but I think it just misses the fact, oh, come on, lads. The cheesiness factor. Sometimes I think they're like, no, this is really cool.
It's too much. Yeah, we're so self-aware kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's just laying it on too
it can be small.
thickly. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just... I kind of miss that 90s sensibility. Listen, like every film, my favorite film is going to be from the 90s because I just thought they were just so goddamn funny and good. And I kind of miss films being able to be more than one thing.
Yes.
Like that can be, oh my God, that is such a funny film, but Jesus, wasn't also really dramatic. You know, like we don't get to do that anymore. It has to be in these kind of genres, and you know, it doesn't have to be that way.
It has to be. Yeah, there's a like. The specificity, I know, Eddie. The specificity, I think, of films nowadays is really, it's you know, like, okay, fine, you can have a horror film, you can have a comedy film, you can have an action film, but you know, if you try to kind of put all 3 of them together, you know, it's not going to work because one isn't coming to the fore, you know, that sort of way.
But kind of, I think we're all groveling and thirsting and sort of praising down at anything, that any little bone we're thrown these days. So Anyone But You. It's not a great film.
No,
it's
okay.
Film.
It's fine.
But my God, I was like, yeah, I'll watch it 10 times because you're quite literally giving me nothing else.
Yeah.
You're not giving me the good stuff. Like there was... We used to be given weeks at a time.
Oh, yeah.
It would be like, oh, here's Down to You, or here's 10 Things I Hate About You, or like the releases just kept on coming.
Wedding Singer, and then like
You know.
We're 51st, like everything. It was just laid out. My best friend's wedding, they were laid out in a platter year after year after year. You were getting these great films. And now it's like, oh, so we're going to get one every 2 years. And then we're going to get Rivals once every 3 years.
Yeah.
Which is going to fill that void for us. So we just have to take what we can get.
Talk to me about John Cusack.
Oh, Jesus. Hello,
Okay.
John.
So John Cusack is an unlikely rom-com hero, right? You have this. High Fidelity, my personal favourite of his kind of rom-com era.
Yeah.
Serendipity.
Oh, so good.
Serendipity.
Oh, the glove.
Come on, Serendipity was such bullshit.
It was. Of
such
course
bullshit.
it was. It was terrible. And both of them were there looking at each other going, this is terrible, but my God, did they
can
get
sell
into it.
Yeah.
Like, I do think, what was his name? Aiden from Sex and the City. John, what's his name?
Yeah. Wasn't he in like?
He was like the Kenny G
yeah.
musician in it. Like he went full throttle. Fantastic. It was truly horrendous, but my God, he was John Cusack was churning them out for us.
Who
at that
was
stage.
was it Penelope Cruz was the woman in Serendipity?
No, Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale. Oh yeah, that's
Kate
right.
Beckinsale.
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale.
That English accent.
Yeah,
it all going on.
It's all coming into me. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very like I do think right. It's funny that like John Cusack has gone like he's kind of had a bit. He did the Matthew McConaughey before Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Because, you know, you had the 90s, like I said, he was doing Serendipity, he was doing this, he was doing, you know, other rom-coms. He had Con Air.
He was keeping Jeremy Piven going.
Yeah, he was keeping Jeremy Piven in work before Entourage kicked in, and then once he had Entourage, he was fine.
Bye.
But, like, then, you know, come the 2000s, the 2010, like, John Cusack was like, no, I'm strictly an auteur, I am strictly an artist, I am going to do serious work. And, like, fair play to him. But
then he ends up doing straight to movie 1441. You know, you're just kind of like, what was that one with the key?
that was good. I like that.
It was grand.
But it was very much a straight to DVD film. Yeah, I take that point. Yeah, I would love to see him try again with a rom-com. I would love to see him try it again. I don't think he would.
I don't think that he would, but it's how I feel about Colin Farrell. I want Colin Farrell to do a rom-com. I can't wait to see Paul Mescal just go give me a rom-com.
Really?
Yes. Like Nicholas Holt's favourite film. Like he's got Notting Hill in there. Nicholas Holt, if these people get any power whatsoever, they'd be like, give me a rom-com. Everyone wants their moment to try to be Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
And
charmingly befuddled.
Charming. Yeah, exactly. But even like this was such a John Cusack rom-com role because he got to do the existential dread and the meaning of life and what is this all about and have I left my best days behind me.
Yes.
Like even at the age of 28. They were 28.
That I don't like that was the other thing. Holy shit. Yeah, we need to talk about that, right? So like this was like the 10-year reunion.
Yes.
Right? And it's like it's 10 ye's. It's 10 years. That's not long. Like you're doing like 3 years in college. And then it's like, you know, like that's a long time in, or sorry, that's not a long time in to be having this level of.
It's not a long time in Irish time. I'm wondering in America because, you know, we don't understand the distances. It's like,
Fair point.
I can't go home to see my mom because she's 1,000 kilometers away, whereas we're like, I'll just pop down to you at lunchtime.
Yeah, I'll just go down the M7.
You know, I'll see you in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like with America, you just don't get it. Like, I wonder, because they do make that, now that I'm older and I realize how much of a big deal in all of my touchstone American TV shows and films made such a big deal of the 10-year reunion where I was like, we did a 10-year reunion. We were like, Harry, I saw you last week.
Yeah. And again, that's another thing about this is that I'm glad you touched on that. There's, again, you know, we're saying like they wouldn't make this film today because, you know, tonal differences or whatever. It wouldn't work now because like Facebook, Instagram, you know, like people have such a digital footprint that it's like, I know exactly what you've been doing. You got married, had 3 kids, and then you develop some very, very interesting opinion about, you know, the refugee crisis, you know, and it's like, all right, cool, not cool.
Yes.
Let's not address that at the 10-year. But maybe
you would want to stab someone with a biro. Like, I'm just saying.
Whomst among us wouldn't want to...
Not to spoiler, but John is if you haven't seen it, he's very handy. He's MacGyvering the crap out of it.
He's proper Bo MacGyver,
yeah. He is.
Yeah. Let's talk about Minnie Driver.
Oh yeah.
Now, Minnie Driver, I think, is, one of these actors that I wonder, it's not like what happened to her, but there's definitely a thing of like, I mean, she did this and she did Good Will Hunting.
I feel like there has to be something that she hasn't come out and said in a Weinstein way.
Correct.
Because
I'm glad
she
you said
was
it. Yes.
working
Yeah.
so much with Miramax.
Uh-huh.
Like this is all Miramax. Good Will Hunting is Miramax.
Yeah.
Her trajectory after Circle of Friends, Benny Forever, oh my God, I love you, was so high.
Yeah.
Like everything that she was doing, she was at the stage where back when Graham Norton used to be bitchy, which he isn't at all anymore.
No, yeah,
He's
he got media
fantastic.
training and he just sounded off.
Well,
the
he
edges.
stopped. He didn't have to be. Remember, he used to call her the 50 pence head, which was so, and I loved her. I was like, Graham, stop, and I loved him, and it was on so Graham Norton.
Yeah.
And she would, because she had become such a huge deal, and then boom, it all stops. She ends up doing like nothing.
Yeah, she was doing TV. Like, I mean, I remember she did this one TV show called The Riches.
The Riches, yeah,
Yes,
Eddie Izzard, yeah,
with
yeah,
Eddie
yeah,
Izzard.
yeah.
That ran for like one season. I
Yeah,
want to say.
yeah.
I think I saw it on sale once in HMV and turned it over, and it was about Irish travellers
Yes.
in America, and I was like,
That was it.
what the fuck?
And she did, like, when she did Phantom of the Opera, because she's got an amazing singing voice.
Yeah.
And I think she wanted to, like, there was that moment when all the Moulin Rouge stuff was happening and everyone was vying for that role so much. And something happened. I have to think something happened because I think she is utterly charming.
That's it. She is a very, very charming romantic lead. Like
She
you
is.
could put her in, you could put her in a corset and a frilly dress, and she would fit in with the cast of Bridgerton.
But when she did the John Carney TV show.
Yeah. Oh God, Vinyl. Was it Vinyl?
The one where all the bachelors
Modern
lads
Love.
get back to Modern Love.
Modern Love. Yeah.
When she did that episode.
Yeah.
I was just like, she's so good. Like the Irish accent is perfect. The woman is a fantastic actress.
She's a real like Swiss Army knife of an actor. Like she can fit into anything.
She
like,
can. There's
yeah.
a Meryl Streep element to her. I
Definitely.
think. So I'm like, what has happened here? She's really funny as herself when I'm listening to her in interviews, watching her.
Yeah.
I really like her. She seems a bit bonkers.
Yeah.
And
Bit quirky.
but it's always been what happened to Minnie Driver.
Did like Helena Bonham Carter swoop in and kind of take?
I don't think so. I think there was enough space. I suppose at the same time, Kate Beckinsale was going up and up and
Yeah.
up, and then Underworld happened, and I don't know how they got pigeonholed. She was one of the most famous dumpings in the world when Matt Damon did it on Oprah, and then everyone was feeling sorry. I'd say that must have been just, she was just like, bog off, stop feeling sorry for me.
Yeah.
He's a dick. The way we looked at that.
Yeah.
Like, what an absolute dick to do that. And yet she became the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Like, you would not get away with that now.
Oh no.
Not a hope in
No.
hell.
Like there's no like Matt Damon would not recover from that.
No.
In the slightest.
No.
Like
he went out he was going out with Winona Ryder when he like announced that that's how he dumped her.
Like it's very that's what I'm saying to you. Like it's like
I'm 90s though.
That's it, isn't it? Like that's the thing. It's like we have this like I swear like we have this like such short-term memory for this kind of stuff, like the stuff that went on in the 90s. First of all, it wouldn't happen now, but also as well as like if that happened today, you would not recover from that at all.
No.
Like look at Tom Cruise on the Oprah sofa,
Mm-hmm.
going bananas over Katie Holmes. Would that happen now?
No.
But
still, it is fascinating. The whole, I'm reading a lot about the reaction to, we will say, for example, the likes of Amber Heard and Blake Lively for what their perceived transgressions.
Sure.
And then the conversation about Tom Cruise hasn't seen his kids since she was like 6 years old, and Brad Pitt hasn't seen his kids in how long?
Yeah.
And yet no chat about them.
I mean,
and was it a woman that hadn't seen their kid in that long, it would be insane. It's just, we think we live in this era of transparency. Like Hollywood PR is still
it's incredible.
incredible.
Like I mean like the fact that Brad Pitt is able to be in this, multi-million, euro film that's posters everywhere.
Yeah, and no judgment, you do you, but we are, it's kind of like, guys, you're being manipulated here, come on.
Yeah, oh no, and like you mean you read the stuff from the court case and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't get into that.
But we don't have to get into that. And I'm not saying I just think it's interesting, the Hollywood machine.
Yes.
nowadays in a prison, I'm not conspiracy theorying any of this.
No.
They're just happenstance of things that have happened, and goes back to what did happen to Minnie Driver.
That's it. Like,
You know?
you do look at it. It's like you, like, yeah, like
She was nominated for an Oscar,
Yeah.
and then fell off the face of the earth.
just disappeared. Like,
Yeah.
and again, like, look, that will happen. Obviously, Hollywood is, famously cruel to women once they get past a certain age, and it's just like they don't exist
Yeah.
anymore. That happens. But her, it felt very specific. It was so
Yeah.
that it was like, okay, what happened here? Now, look, for all we know, she might have decided, you know what, done with this crack. I'm gonna go off.
I don't think
But
so.
I don't think so. I think she was so good and so talented and had such presence. It would seem to me a shame for her to just walk off into the sunset at that point. Like,
She carried off a pair of, she was meant to be 28 years old, going to a school reunion, lads, a pair of black tapered trousers and a lime green round neck t-shirt.
yeah,
It was so highly offensive to my eyes when I was a teenager and to my eyes now. And I was like, and yet Minnie Driver
yeah,
got
she's
away
working
with
it. She makes it.
How did she make that work?
Yeah.
And bad shoes. Like, she's such presence. Shakabuku.
She carried it off. She just carried it all off.
Shakabuku, baby.
Talk to me about 90s kind of late 90s rom-coms, right? Is there okay, do you think there is an element of rose-tinted glasses with how we approach them? Because, like, you look at, say, this, you look at 10 things you mentioned 10 things I hate about you, for example.
Oh my God. I love it.
Right.
And people will sit there and they will go, Love Actually so horrible, it's full of sexual harassment.
Yes.
10 Things I Hate About You, the way he treats her, he pushes her away in order to bring her closer, he's love bombing and it's all fake and he's gaslighting. Yeah, they're doing all of these terrible things and I love it. Like,
You can't not, you're like, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
And I know that we have been fed this our entire lives. And I would like for young women now
to be able to,
be able to
see
go,
this.
oh, that's what they're doing.
Mm.
And I probably no. At the time, we all knew Patrick was a shit.
Yeah, you
in
kind
10
of had
Things I
enough.
Hate About You.
Yeah.
We were like, you were a shit.
Mm.
But do I fancy you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wish that isn't how it worked. And as you get older, it's not how it works.
No.
Like, when I realized that I turned 20 or even a little bit older and be like, oh, you don't fancy those dickheads.
No.
Like, it's lovely when you're free of that.
Yeah.
For both, regardless of sexuality and gender.
No, when the frontal lobe develops and
Exactly.
you kind of figure out, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that guy in a band
Yeah.
is a big walking red flag,
Yeah.
and it's not working. Like, I do think, like, I will say, I have seen a couple of things that I think are reminiscent of 90s rom-coms that are kind of trying to address what you're talking about. And one that I'd love to get your opinion on is Too Much.
Oh, yeah.
The Lena Dunham thing. I felt, watching it, like Will Sharp's character, straight out of a 90s rom-com. He's in a band, he's got the wolf cut
Yeah.
hair, he's kind and gentle and funny and weird and all the rest of it. But, he's a walking red flag because, he was in a relationship, he's in a band, he doesn't have his life together. Da, 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 da. You, however, didn't like Too Much.
I hated it. I
¿Qué pasa?
absolutely.
Can't fall.
I found not one thing charming about that. I love Megan Salter. I
Yeah.
love her in Hacks.
Yeah.
I love her stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
I have been laughing at that woman for years. And in this, and I adore a fish out of water story.
Yeah.
I have always loved
Who
stuff like
doesn't
that.
love a fish out of water story?
And I just found, I didn't even think they were leaning into a stereotype with either of them, because I did, like, they just naturally fell for each other. They found each other attractive and they wanted to write. Fantastic, beautiful. There was no other conversation around that. But I just didn't find it endearing. I didn't find either of them endearing. I didn't understand why they wanted to spend time with each other. The whole thing when she meets the footballer, and so she goes on a date with the footballer. This isn't a huge spoiler, but she ends up being like, well, I'm dating a guy who I don't care if he doesn't like me and if he is love bombing me. And I was like, that happened 8 hours ago.
Yeah.
And
now you're just now catching up, like, what the
But
hell?
it's just like, well, I don't get it. because if that was me and I'd shagged someone 8 hours ago, I would be in the oh Jesus. Now that may be coming from an Irish Catholic point of view of just oh God the shame, oh God
Yes,
the shame,
yeah,
oh God
yeah,
the shame.
yeah,
Is
sure,
he ever
sure,
going to
sure.
ring me? Oh Jesus Christ! And she is an American, and I get that they're
Yeah, there's a different-
there's a dating culture that I don't know about. I didn't find anything redeeming about it. I didn't laugh at it. I didn't find it charming. It didn't make me feel all gooey inside.
Wow, that's fair. I mean, no, listen, that is your honestly held opinion. I thought someone who appreciates the 90s, the rom-com kind of genre.
Those-
I thought this would have appealed to you.
That's what I settled down.
Was it trying too hard? Was that the point? I'm not trying to confront you now.
There's something about Netflix that takes everything and ruins it.
Well, there is that thing in Netflix bloat. Like the fact that like each series is like 2 episodes too long.
Oh God, yeah. But if they could just give things to the BBC and say, pretend you're not the BBC, we'll pay you to do this, and then just
Yeah.
pretend you're Netflix, and then we'll just take it.
Yeah.
I think everything would be perfect. Is how I feel about things, because the BBC do things so goddamn well.
Yeah. I mean, like, and they've been doing that already. Like the A24 thing, like Beef, for example.
Yeah.
That was the best thing Netflix has put out in years.
Yeah.
And they had nothing to do with it.
No.
They just gave money to A24 and said, go make us a show.
Yeah.
And they came back with that, and that was the best thing they made in years.
Yeah. I just didn't
Just didn't vibe with it.
No, I think the first thing about the first joke about the estate, the Airbnb joke, that she thinks she's going to live on an estate, and estate obviously means something different over here than it does over there.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're moving to a different country and you're living by yourself, you're going to Google what it is, and you're
Yeah.
going to have seen what it is on Google Maps.
It's not going to be
She's
the
not
shock.
that airy fairy. She's a production assistant. She knows how to do this.
Yeah.
It was a joke that I just said that has landed so badly in modern era that I was like, I don't know if I'm going to come back from this. And I was very sad that I didn't enjoy it. And I don't think that Will Sharp looked like he wanted to be there.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Yeah. I think he just looks generally uncomfortable most of the time. So that's maybe the charm of
That
it.
is maybe the charm, and that was what was so good in White Lotus. But,
Yeah. He looked uncomfortable wherever he went. Like I think
Yeah.
that was always his kind of thing.
I'm older as well though, so it's kind of like, okay, I don't fancy
Yeah,
it.
this doesn't make any. Yeah.
But then again, Nicholas Hoult. Who knew? Blonde Nicholas Hoult.
Right.
Holy mother of God.
Have you seen Superman yet? By the way,
Not yet. I'm going this weekend, obviously, because I can't.
You
all
gotta.
the videos of him dancing with a bald head as Lex Luthor.
You're gonna love it.
Wow.
You're gonna love it.
Wow, Nicholas.
Talking about 90s rom-com, talking about the 90s in general. Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. Were you in that era? Was that
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dean Cain until I die. Terry Hatcher, the 90s Bob. The perfect 90s Bob.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore
Oh
it.
no, I like Terry Hatcher in that show. Formative.
100%.
Her and Counselor Troy from Star Trek.
Deanna.
Formative.
Yeah.
Like dark-haired women that made me a man. All right.
Deanna with the curly hair. The big hair. The big hair.
The big hair, the sallow skin. Like that's I'll freely admit it. That's been my type.
Yeah.
Since 15.
Totally get that.
Ended up marrying that. So like I'm.
Well done. Fair play to you.
But you know what I mean? Like that,
I totally get that.
People don't get that. Like how formative. Like you lock in at that stage, and then that's it.
And it was always weird about Deanna, because you know the way Will Riker was meant to be this playboy.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and it was always felt as though, you know, she kind of wants him back. And when you rewatch The Next Generation, which God bless sci-fi,
Yeah.
you can at any time. It's like Virgin Media 3, The Chase is always on. You will always find a Star Trek
You'll
Next
always find a
Generation
Star
somewhere.
Trek. Yeah.
She didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't want Will. She was
No.
just like, yeah, grand. She's just in tune with the fact that he always wanted her because she was a telepath.
Yeah. She understood it. Yeah.
And then she knew what to do. Go for Worf. Well done, Deanna.
But tell me this, right? Did you have a little bit of a crush? The reason I asked this is, did you have a crush on John Cusack?
Oh, God, I did. Didn't like
Eddie?
that, Eddie.
Eddie? Baba? Take it easy. John Cusack, you had a crush?
I would have, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, purely because of Grosse Pointe Blank.
Really?
Yeah, it was, again, formative.
Wow.
And he would have been, so we're at the time. People always say, you know.
This was the era of like DiCaprio. You weren't in on that buzz?
No, wasn't in on the DiCaprio buzz. Obviously, like you have to do the Romeo thing, but no, I was more Mercutio in that, I think, actually, because he was just so incredible. I was fully paid up card carrying member of the David Boreanaz's for my soul's
Wow.
angel.
The Fringe.
Doug Ross, George Clooney, from 1994
Yeah.
on, still until the day I die. And
That's interesting, Doug Ross.
Heath Ledger.
I would have thought you would have been like, yeah.
No,
No.
Doug Ross, all of the way. Sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" to me, Doug. I am done.
And then obviously
Heath Ledger, 10 Things I Hate About You.
I was Tom Selleck and Friends, obviously. No, really?
Well, yeah, I can see why Monica liked him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but
The
it
most-
wasn't a thing. Like it was.
No,
Right.
that wasn't that. I think I was a bit too young for that.
Yeah, that's
too
fair,
young
yeah.
to get the mustache at the time.
Yeah,
Can appreciate it very
can
much.
appreciate it now.
Yeah, she should have ended up with him.
She should have. Mm-hmm. Like Chandy, like, you know, as a neurotic man myself, like that was never going to end up.
No,
That wouldn't work.
I don't think so.
I don't think it'd work. They'll end up.
Ooh.
I would think if we were to write like a new season of Friends, I would say Monica and Chandler were divorced.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that. I don't think they can stay together.
It
God,
wouldn't.
It's bad. It's harsh that we're saying that now.
But we can
Monica
all
and
see-
Joey,
Monica and Joey, yeah,
they could have.
they'd have, yeah, possibly, yeah, because she likes to cook and he
And-
likes to eat.
And we need to stop.
Joey
now.
doesn't share food, like.
No, Joey doesn't share food, but I don't. No, they none of the Friends lads. I never fancied any of them.
Wow.
You had to pretend you had a favorite.
Yeah, but you
But
didn't.
none
re-
of
you
us
never
ever
really did,
fancied
really,
any
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Like you couldn't. There
No.
was too many good things going on
To-
on the telly and on the like. Once 10 Things I Hate About You came out,
Yeah,
and we also had
smash hits. Like you had like.
we had all that, but Reality Bites. Now,
Wow.
like, I can't. Welcome to
That's
the Winter
a-
of Our Discontent. Here we go. Like Ethan Hawke, that whole thing that was going on.
Ethan Hawke, yeah. That I get. Ethan Hawke, like Gattaca, yeah. Come on.
Yes,
Jude Law.
it was. Gattaca was one of the sexiest things I'd ever seen. When I finally
100%.
understood it, first time I
Yeah.
watched it, I was like, what's that? What am I watching? Then you watch it again, and you're like, oh, this is so
Yeah.
good. It's such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
But that was, yeah, I'm very 90s. But like, even at the time, one of my favorite movies would probably be The Philadelphia Story. So I think that the 90s sensibility has a through line all the
Very
way from
much.
30s, 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Where it is this slapstick humor. And it doesn't matter if you have a mobile phone or if you're using telegrams.
Yeah.
They've just done it so well.
Yeah.
And they were all smart. Like
Yeah.
Philadelphia Story is about so much more
Yeah.
than Tracy Lord getting married.
100%.
And about like the things they got away with. Like it wasn't, they pushed the moralities of the time. They
Yes.
pushed everything.
Yes.
And I just think there's such a correlation between the good things, and I hope to see that come back again. I don't want to
Yeah.
dismiss anything.
No,
from
no.
this time, like Roy Lane, like all those. Like there's some
Yeah.
brilliant ones.
There is. Like, I'm glad you said Roy Lane because not enough people saw Roy Lane.
Oh, just
And I loved
fab.
I remember going to the press show that it was me, Donald Clark, and somebody else. And, like, I remember walking out. Like, there was literally 4 of us at the press screen. And I remember walking out of it saying, that is one of the best rom-coms I've seen
Like
in years. What the hell? What? And, like, me and Donald were looking at each other like, that was fucking brilliant.
what's going on?
Why is nobody talking about
Yeah.
this? Why is nobody talking about this? Roy Lane.
Because they're going on. I don't know if it was on the Rest of Entertainment or whatever, and they're talking about how Gen Z, because they're in these silos now,
Sure.
and it's these gendered silos and whatever, that they don't want the rom-coms.
No.
And I'm like, oh God,
Because
makes
they're
me
so
sad.
broadly appealing.
But then when I'm talking to my niece, her friends, like my friend has a kid who's 15,
Yeah.
and talk about when I say barreling through
Yeah.
things like Dawson's Creek,
Yeah.
Buffy,
Yeah.
Gilmore Girls.
Oh, yes.
Like they're doing them, and I mean
They're speed running them.
they cannot stop watching them.
Yeah.
13 years old, and they're watching the exact same things that we were. Grey's Anatomy,
Yeah.
like, all of that. So I'm like, why isn't it translating
Into the content that is being put.
But
well, I say content,
what
but
would we do without?
Yeah.
But they're all watching Bring It On. They're all. I'm like, why aren't they making films for
like
these
that? I mean,
young
this
ones?
is what these kids are getting at. So, like, why aren't you?
Why
yeah.
aren't you making them? Why aren't you putting them in the? Like, I sat down one day with my mates. She's 14, 14-year-old. She was like, "Oh, I've got to run and do a few bits. Will you know?"
Yeah, just sit with her. Yeah.
Not her. No, she was meant to be babysitting. But I said, "Oh, I'll wait here
Yeah.
while you get back." Jesus Christ. We sat down, we discussed things, and we just started watching movies. And it was like the best day of my life. It was so, well, not the best day of my life, but you know, it was just so cool to be like, so you like all of these? And she's like, yeah.
They've got their taste profile is already kind of
But
developed.
they do sleepovers and they do what we did. We sit here and because I'm not a mother, I'm like, oh God, do I understand
Kids,
you know,
these
will I
days.
understand my mates and the things that they're going through?
Yeah.
And then you sit down and we know that I've got, you know, they've got all these relationships with screens and things I will never understand. But my God, their sensibilities.
Yeah.
It's the same. One of my niece's mates, she's just discovered Sense and Sensibility. And she can't stop. Like, she fancies Alan Rickman. And I was like, well done. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And then she'd be on the Pride and Prejudice, like come on, like.
BBC.
Then you'll have your Matthew McFadden walking through
BBC.
Actually, right.
Firth girl.
I'm glad. Okay, right. I was going to talk about, you know, the fact that like Grosse Pointe Blank has an element of screwball comedy to it. It definitely does.
It does.
We can agree to that.
Bringing Up Baby, all that sort of. It's totally.
Screwball comedy. You know, love it. His Girl Friday, like the kind of the whip smart comedy.
Yeah.
Sure. We've discussed that. Now let's talk about Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Why are you up on Pride and Prejudice, the BBC one, over the clearly superior Joe Wright, Matthew McFadden, Keira Knightley one? What's wrong with you? Because you're wrong about this. You have to. No, Muireann, you must see you're wrong about this.
So Joe Wright's is 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It misses everything.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't get certain elements right. He's way too sappy earlier on, Mr. Darcy. He is not aloof enough. He is not standoffish enough, which is what we have been fed our entire lives. His feelings are quite blatantly obvious from quite early on. And Elizabeth is too smart not to have seen that. Whereas in the BBC version, he is so standoffish. And Elizabeth, again, she reads a room in a situation so well. She doesn't know herself very well, but she can read a room and what's happening incredibly well, that there's no way she wouldn't have seen in Joe Wright's version. Oh, he kind of fancies me. I think she would have seen it too soon and it never would have happened.
I think you're wrong. Like, yeah, okay, fine. Let us take a turn about the room.
And it's too short.
It's not. It is okay.
I need my 6 hours.
Right. Okay. I'll take your point about there is the book, which I've read. There's a lot more kind of layering in it. It's more drawn out. It's more the BBC series has more of a chance to marinate and kind of, as you say.
I wouldn't say drawn out.
No, I'm saying marinating, as in like it's moving through it in a stately fashion, let us say. But I think, on balance, the film, the Joe Wright version, so much better because it is a distillation. It is distilling down.
Who wants to distill one of the greatest things of all time? You want to savor every drop. It's like going, and I'm not a sommelier, I'm not a wine person.
No,
give me
neither.
Graham Norton tenor. Thank you very much. I'm happy.
Just give me
as
that
Larry.
grog.
Just give me whatever you have. But it's like going, okay, you can have the most beautiful bottle of wine of all time, and just going, yeah, I'll just have a sip.
You can have a glass.
You can have a
can
glass,
have a
but you
glass.
can't have the bottle. Whereas I want the bottle.
Yeah, but like the bottle.
Functioning
after a while,
alcoholic.
But after a while, then the bottle will just like you'll be pissed by the end of it. Like you won't be able to see up from down. Like whereas if you have a
Drunk in
glass, but like
love.
if you have the glass, then you can kind of like you can get the aroma.
No, I don't want to savor. I want
get
to. No.
You
I'm
want it all.
greedy. I'm greedy. And honestly, so in my house, there was never a thing of you can't watch anything.
Oh yeah.
By the time I came along, my parents were too tired. They did not care. I was an accident. They were like, you want to watch Hunter, or, you know, my brother made me watch Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. I was 5 years old. It has ruined my entire life. Freaks the shit out of me.
I saw RoboCop
Like
when I was like 7 years old on Network 2 and like the bit where like I saw that at 7 years old. That's why
it's formative,
and that's why I am the way. Like this is why.
And the parents are like, "You're what? 50? I don't understand." So when I saw the BBC version of Pride and Prejudice, my sister, who is the other kind of reader in our house, she's 13 years older than me.
Right.
So she was home on a Sunday night.
Oh.
She didn't go back to college until a Monday. And we all sat down and we watched this, and Mum would go out playing cards after it was over at 10, and it was kind of a family experience. And I had never seen anything like it in my life. Like, I was still watching things for 10 and 11-year-olds.
Sure.
And I was so wrapped
Pulling
up in
away.
this world. Oh, obviously. But
Yeah.
like, I was young. I was 10.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
11.
yeah,
Was I
yeah.
11? And Mom and Niamh were so hooked on this. Mom pretended. Mom hates
Period
liking.
dramas.
No, she hates anyone realizing that she likes anything because she's a woman from Kerry. No, it's stupid. No.
Yeah.
No,
Can't-
I don't.
no.
I've seen that before. A movie
Yeah.
will have come out that day.
Did you like, no.
I think it was Rivals. I've seen that already. I was like, it came out today. No, I saw it. I've seen it before. That sort of a way.
Right.
And all three of us were just wrapped. We were just stare, and Dad would be there with the keys, ready to go playing cards. Mum was like, yeah, just I just have to fit, because she wouldn't admit that she was enjoying the TV show.
Yeah.
And then my sister was like, this is the greatest thing ever, because she wasn't a
Yeah,
huge
yeah.
Austen fan.
Yeah.
And it developed a love for me. Like, I got the book straight away. I got the
And you
book out
got
of
like
her
locked
room,
in.
got it locked in, and I just started there, and I've never looked back. And it just created a huge. I'd never seen anything like it, and it's what every rom-com is based on.
And that's where we tie it back into Grosse Pointe Blank, because it is, you know, the sort of the meet cute, the sort of enemies to lovers.
Yes.
You know, that sort of thing, jilted lovers.
Yep.
Like, it's all there in Pride and Prejudice, and then you see the kind of the DNA strand
Yep.
ties back to Grosse Pointe Blank. So it's just it's
'Cause it's
just
all
a
there.
lovely little circle.
Yeah, because you know that she's going to forgive him in the end.
Yeah.
But
You're enjoying
how they
the
got there.
Yes.
How they got there. Like, they don't pretend that these two were, and that's the thing as well, the chemistry between Minnie Driver and John Cusack. Like, we all know the one that we can all point to is Brad and Angelina, how shite the chemistry was.
Oh, yeah.
And they were riding or whatever they were up to.
Yeah.
These two were seeing each other, and the chemistry was jumping off the page.
100%. Like, that thing in Friends is true, that, like, you know, if you've no chemistry on screen, it means you're riding in the background. But if there is chemistry on screen, and then there's no, that means.
But they
there's
were
no-
seeing each other as well.
Yeah. Rare example of
rare
that.
example of it
Rare
really-
example of it not working.
Although we don't know. Like, to be fair, Sydney Sweeney was a genius about anyone but you.
Oh yeah, that was so clever. That was such clever marketing.
It was very
Yeah.
harsh on Glenn Powell's girlfriend.
Yeah,
Even though
tough.
it would appear that Sydney Sweeney was very upfront with her about what she was doing.
Yes.
But Glenn was like, just get over it.
Yeah.
She said something, the ex-girlfriend said something about it recently.
I
It
heard,
was
yeah,
quite
it was,
interesting.
I saw something about that, and it was, yeah. No, clever, very, very clever.
Yeah.
Like, way to manipulate the press. Well done,
Well done.
fantastic. But like, yeah, the chemistry that like Minnie Driver and John Cusack have in this, you know, it's so. And again, this is what I love about it. It's so natural.
Yeah.
It's a very, like, even though like it's a high concept thing, like he's an assassin, she's a radio presenter. It's a 10-year reunion. Like, the
Yeah.
high concept is there, but everything about it is naturalistic.
Yeah.
Like, the dialogue is so kind of whip smart. The action feels very kind of textured. It's a very textured, natural film inside of a high concept thing, which to me, you could take that about Pride and Prejudice. You could say Pride and Prejudice is a very high concept kind of rom-com. Like, most rom-coms need an overarching concept. Like When Harry Met Sally, friends to lovers.
So good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So
Beautiful,
it works.
beautiful with like all of those things. Like, they just work so well. Every Nora Ephron, everything
Yeah.
like that. But they can, you know, it can be in My Best Friend's Wedding, you know,
Yeah.
which I thought took the genre and kind of subverted it and kind of left the couple together, which was really nice. But also, I think, first of all, when you're older, you can see yourself in their relationship.
100%.
And when you're in secondary school, you could see, oh, they definitely went out in school. Like, you could see, you were like, oh, they you can see why they would have gone out as teenagers.
Yeah. I'm with you now.
And
yes,
when they
yes,
get
yes.
back together, and you're just kind of like, and he kind of reminds you, like, I was sitting there, like, you know, kind of going, when I was in school watching it, and it was the guy that I fancied, and you'd be
You
like,
were seeing him and John Cusack.
well, you're
John Cusack.
always going to see that, aren't you?
Yeah,
Like,
I suppose, yeah.
You're going to give them a depth that perhaps
That's not there at all.
Well, that both of you don't have,
Yeah.
because you're
You're kids, like,
you're
yeah.
kids, and you just like smelling each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was just, I just thought it was so incredible. They were such a childlike quality to them as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when she wants an aeroplane in the bedroom, and she's like, get out, you can't stay. Like, no, you can't stay. Dad doesn't want you to stay over. It was so funny.
Yeah.
To take it and be like, well, we kind of don't ever grow up.
No.
And that thing about adulthood, we're all
It's a myth.
kind of the same. And it's like, you know, when you, I don't know if you listened to What Did You Do Yesterday, the podcast with
No.
David O'Doherty and Max Rushton. which people say is like it's one of the funniest things I've ever listened to in my entire life. But the fact is, they will talk to all of these people that we might think are geniuses and adore, like high concept comedians like Sam Campbell, they Gary Lineker on. And it's, so what time did you get up yesterday? And when did you put your pants on? And it's just how much we're all the same, the mundanity of life, regardless of who you are.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And I just thought with this, we're talking about an assassin, but he also wants to sleep over in his girlfriend's house and she won't let him.
Yeah. Like, that's so cute. That's so cute. That's so cute. And that's it. It's a very, I'll finish on this. Like, it's such a cute film. Like, it's so warm. It's a really, I could totally see this as people's comfort watch.
Absolutely. And the soundtrack. We haven't even mentioned
We haven't even talked about the fucking soundtrack. Joe Strummer, legend of the Clash. Like, you know, the jam, the beat. Come on. Mirror in the bathroom.
Femmes. Yeah, Violent Femmes.
Violent Femmes. God, what a great soundtrack.
That's another thing. Like music has become era-less as a result of things like Stranger Things.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So you can talk, like I can talk to mates in radio who do radio programming, and they're just like, oh, we're
running up that hill.
We're cooked because it is like, we can go out to a group of 15 to 24-year-olds, and for a year there it was, I want to hear Running Up That Hill, and they want to hear it on an ABC One station where it is meant to be songs within the last 5 years, you know, with spin, and they're just like, music is era-less now. And I think that's fantastic.
I love that
because it sounds like all of the music that we listen to.
Yes,
it's all melded in together, and people are discovering this sort of stuff. And when you discover it through a movie that you love, like I didn't know the Violent Femmes before Grosse Pointe Blank.
Same. Like I was familiar with the Clash. I was not familiar with Joe Strummer's solo work, and then you hear it in Grosse Pointe Blank, and it's fantastic. Guns N' Roses, like Live and Let Die. Like, I did not know they did, like.
But how they use Live and Let Die,
insane.
From when you take it from the hyper masculine James Bond
to then the
and
sort
you
of
throw it into this when it's like a shop is being, a mace is being shot up or whatever. It's so funny.
So funny.
It's so funny how they use the soundtrack was funny. Like.
And that's it. Like, again, we're talking about, like, you know, rom-coms, slapstick. The slapstick use of music, like, it's so smart.
Funny.
Like.
It was so funny.
Yeah. Okay, we have gone way over time. We're at 45 minutes.
Edit it out.
I'll edit it all out.
I'm
not editing this.
No, do some work. No one wants to listen to 45 minutes.
Yes, they do. You'd be. Listen, people don't know what they want until it's put in front of them. That's why, like, Grosse Pointe Blank did so well. No one knew that they wanted a high concept rom-com with assassins until they saw it, and then here we are. Good.
Not even one, and we never even mentioned John Cusack. You're a legend. We love you,
John Cusack. If you're watching this. Love you, buddy. Muireann O'Connell, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you very much, Brian Lloyd.
And that was our interview with Muireann. Hope you enjoyed it. Grosse Pointe Blank. What a absolute cracker of a film. My God. And check out the soundtrack as well. It's fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about it. Thank you so much to Muireann O'Connell for doing that. Thank you for listening all the way through or watching all the way through. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't be afraid to leave a comment down below. Leave a rating if you really, really like the show. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Eddie. He's looking at me now. It's not barking. Bark? Bark?